What's going on, everybody? What happens when you get morning wood? We're also going to be going on over the main point. Why this happens. It's very easy. Subscribe to my channel. I highly appreciate it. So this is, obviously, if you couldn't tell, this is a log. This is a representation, I don't know why that came out, but of a log of your morning wood. Now, why does this happen? This is more exclusively for semen retention, but it doesn't matter. So, first and foremost, if you're absolutely malnourished and starving, you're gonna get morning wood because you're gonna think about sex and your energy is gonna be in the lower energy center. I don't like to talk about chakras because I've not studied them and grew up on them, and they're not really involved in my culture, so to speak, but I do know about them. So when you're starving, which most people are not starving, okay? When you're starving for a male, especially, your energy's down there. Food and hunger and sex. So you'll get a morning wood. You'll get a boner. You also have dreams, nightmares too. Most people are not going to get here. They're not going to go there. You have to be really starving to go there. That's the only natural, pretty much the only natural fundamental way that you'll wake up physically with a boner. Okay? The other ones are going to be causes of the way you think, which is the problem or the situation with everybody. The way they think. Okay, so you wake up with morning wood, especially someone who's weighs a lot. Why? Because they think about sex all the time. They watch sex. They look at, it's alright if you look at naked girls or whatever turns you on, but the whole thing is, you're thinking about it. Therefore, it's getting pre-programmed into your mind, whether you like it or not, because it's more so about the fantasization of it. This is why morning wood happens. Because people are thinking about sex all the time. All the time. Even if they're on semen retention, you can still look at sex and think about sex, read about it, even reading about it. Anything that stimulates it, and it starts with in the mind. So when you create that, the energy goes down there. So that's basically it. When it comes down to this, is how you think. It's what's causing your morning wood. Also, what happens is you're sending the energy down there. So if you're participating in sex and More so, it's a mentality type of game. Because yes, you could participate in sex and not be succumb to it. You could look at porn, magazines, talk about it, read about it. But this is when a master comes into play. It's not as easy as it is, but the fundamentals are. So you get morning wood. Majority of people are getting morning wood because they're stimulating their mind, their subconscious, the pre-programming about sex all the time. When that happens, of course you're going to get morning wood. If you think, we can take this into consideration. If you think about, it doesn't matter what you think about, but if you think about something all the time, it's more than likely, and it's very likely, and it's gonna happen. It has to happen because you think about it all the time. It could even happen in your dream, so to speak, or your nightmare. It's gonna happen. Because you're so persistent and prevalent. Let's just say you want a girlfriend. If your number one goal is to get a girlfriend and you happen to think about it all the time, guaranteed you're gonna get a girlfriend. It's just that simple. Now, people on semen retention and stuff like that, it's not more, oh, I'm just not touching myself or not getting involved in sex. It's more so the environment and what you're taking in, but it's more so how you're perceiving it. So there's a couple ways and words I can throw in there. But again, it's just your mentality of the information that's coming in. If you see it as sexual, if you're looking at women all the time, basically on semen retention, or you don't even have to be on semen retention, you're gonna get morning wood. If you're looking at women and reading about sexual things and pornography, then again, your mind in your life is gonna have to have some gist of that, some remnants of that. So basically, it's never gonna end until you clean your peripheral, until you really go over your thoughts. It's just a change of thinking. So one way, if you really want to do it, this is pretty hardcore, but when you see a woman, this is for a male obviously, when you see a woman, don't look at her in a sexual way. That'd be the first step. So you could look at her as your sister or your mother or maybe a relative if that helps, but more so a sister or a mother. It's literally, which I don't hear anybody talking about, just the way you're perceiving it. And you can change the way you're wired. It's not some messing with wires in your head. It's like, no. It's just as super simple as, I'm going to wake up and today is going to be a good day. I don't want to F that girl. That's my sister. It's simple as that. But then people don't have control or discipline. It doesn't really matter the word. But it is that simple. And that's what happens, basically. That is the end all. Well, there's one step past that, but we're not going to get to that. Because when you see things for what they actually are, you won't think about or want to have sex. Because you won't be thinking about it. You'll just be seeing it. Have you ever just seen a woman? The reason why you get adrenaline rush, the reason why you get stimulated or simulated is because you see a woman, you create a thought, oh, this woman has a nice face, nice cheeks, big breasts, nice round curves on her butt. Then you create the enjoyment for your lower chakra, your lowest chakra. And so this makes an upheaving, and this generates not only right then and there, but a day later, maybe the next morning, you'll get morning wood. The next few days, it could spiral into all kinds of stuff. But if you're not aware, all these things are going to be coming. And then usually what happens is people fall in the trap. Whether they discharge their wood, they get involved in more submissive or subliminal sexual endo, texts, watching stuff. It's just more so keeping the stuff out and just the way you perceive it. But it's better for most people just to not indulge in it and see stuff from a different perspective. That's why you get morning wood. Who would have thought that you thinking about it all the time, looking at naked girls and fantasizing about it, talking about really sexual stuff, who would have guessed that you would have got morning wood off of that? And there it is, folks. It's that easy. Why you get morning wood? Because you're thinking about it. So think about some other stuff, and that's the answer.